you're going to end us off here, starting with the
AFC West.
I'm ending us off?
Yep.
Okay.
You're starting us off.
You're starting it for the end.
Okay.
Starting for the last division.
So, and I don't think this is going to be a tough division to talk about either. I mean, you got the Chiefs first place, and I have the Chiefs going 13-4. And I
defending Super Bowl champs.
Patrick
Best
Mahomes.
player
Not
in the
much
league.
else.
Defending Super Bowl champs, Patrick Mahomes didn't really lose anybody. That's the end of that. So second place, I have the Chargers coming in at 10-7. I think 10-7 is a pretty realistic / I don't want to say generous, but I think that's like a realistic outcome that the Chargers will have this year. I think that the Chargers organization and Chargers fans alike think that they're better than they are. I think Justin Herbert is a top 5 quarterback in the NFL, but he hasn't proved crap in the playoffs and in like tight games. And I don't think that his supporting cast is like I think that the organization should do more than they do with his supporting cast. Like I feel like they didn't do like offensively.
They were all injured last year.
But like what I'm saying is I feel like they should like be more like I think they should have gotten more. You get what I'm saying?
What?
You said the same thing I have. Like I think that they should go out and like get more. Like I'm not super.
I think they could be better in terms of receivers.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't like 2 or 3 of the same guy.
That's what I'm saying.
What they did
That's what I mean. I think they could be more aggressive in getting like a better weapon at like receiver. Honestly,
they just need better style receivers. Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, and who's their third guy that just drafted?
Quentin Johnston could be good.
Keenan
So
Allen's your slot.
Yeah.
Mike Williams is your deep threat.
Yeah.
And
supposed to be.
And Quentin Johnston's your possession guy.
I think Keenan Allen was hurt, but I just feel like these guys could be better than they are. I think that the organization and their fans think that they are better than they really are. Like I think they have a Super Bowl roster right now, and I don't think they do.
I mean, with the moves they made last offseason to get J.C. Jackson.
I disagree with that.
J.C. Jackson.
Although J.C. Jackson was objectively terrible last year.
Well,
do you think they have a Super Bowl roster?
Yeah,
I think they have a Super Bowl roster.
I don't think they do.
I think they do.
You've said this.
Khalil.
I was talking. Someone I was talking to said this exact same thing.
Well, you have Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa. You have J.C. Jackson.
2 of those 3 guys you just named have kind of underperformed.
Khalil Mack is not as good as he once was, and J.C. Jackson was objectively bad.
And Joey Bosa, I think, isn't as good as he was.
The problem with the Chargers is all of their players are very injury prone.
That is an issue.
Was it you that said that, though? Somebody I was talking to said that they need to be, like, they aren't as good as they think they are. They should do more.
Continue with the division. Yes.
That was the end of that.
Okay.
Like, that was my Chargers thing. I think the Chargers are a good team, but I just feel like...
So, are the Chargers your odd team out and missing the playoffs this year?
No, I have the Chargers in the playoffs.
Who's the odd team out then?
Should I tell you now, or do you want me to wait?
I'm assuming we've already gone through it then.
Yeah.
Probably already went through.
Is it the Ravens?
Yeah, I don't have the Ravens making it.
That's wild.
What?
Because I have 3 teams in
I mean, the AFC's that good. It could happen.
Yeah, that's why I have... Because I have the Bills, the Jets, and the Dolphins all making it.
And what was their record?
12-5 for each.
All 3 12.
No, I meant for the
10-7.
10-7.
The Chargers went off tiebreaker, I'm assuming.
Yeah, that's got to be.
I think I had the Chargers beating the Ravens head to head, so I think that's why
you
the
guys
Chargers
are
got
gonna
in.
love mine here in a bit.
Right.
But I like the Chargers. I like Justin Herbert. I just feel like I think that they could be a little bit better than they are. Like I think in people's minds they're better than they are. Is what I'm saying. But anyways, though, they're still a playoff team. Third place here, I have the Raiders coming in at 6-11. I don't really know if the Raiders are going to do much. I mean, Jimmy Garoppolo, Devontae Adams could be. I don't know. We'll see, I guess. I mean, they got Max Crosby, and I know what you're thinking right now. But yeah, I got the Raiders at 6-11. I don't think that they're going to be super special, but I think that I'm interested to see Jimmy G, Josh Jacobs, and Devontae Adams. They could be better than 6-11, but that's just where I have them falling.
That's okay. Continue.
What?
Nothing.
Okay, you'll get. I got the Broncos I got the Broncos coming in last place at 5-12. I realized they got Sean Payton, and I think everybody
You don't think they're going to improve with Sean Payton?
What did they finish last year?
Like 5-12.
5-12.
Was it 5-12 last year?
Well, then I'm changing.
They
I have 5-12.
Yeah, I think that they could be better, but I mean,
They
like
very well might not be.
I like Sean Payton a lot, honestly, but I'm gonna be honest, and this is why. Well, one, Tim Patrick tore his Achilles, he's out for the year. I think that's a solid blow. But my main reasoning is I think Russell Wilson is a shell of his old self.
So you think it's because of old age, not because of Nathaniel Hackett being an incompetent head coach?
I think Nathaniel Hackett was completely incompetent, but yes, I do think we are seeing Russell Wilson's decline.
Yeah, just
I think because personally, even in his last year with the Seahawks, we saw him decline.
He was hurt for half the season.
Yeah, but
He had
still,
like a hand injury.
I know,
It
but
still affected his play. But
it still affected his play.
And
And then last year with the Broncos, he was. Nathaniel Hackett sucked, but Russell Wilson was really terrible.
Russell Wilson was terrible.
Russell Wilson was
he was
awful,
not good last
and
year.
that's not all on the head coach. Like, yeah, the head coach was one of the worst in NFL history, but like Russell Wilson was really bad.
He's pretty bad. Yeah.
So and I have said this multiple times that I don't like you can tell with outside of like Brady. Like, you can tell, like, when a top-tier quarterback is reaching the end of their career, you can tell a lot of times because they're, like, they start declining like this, you know? And then they might bounce to another team, and then they people think that they're going to resurrect it, but they don't. And I think this is what we're seeing with Russell Wilson. I think we're just seeing the end of his career. So that's what I got.
All right. For me, I have the Chiefs winning the division 13-4. Not much I need to say there. I have the Chargers second, going 11-6. I think this year, the only reason they weren't great last year was because of injuries. Keenan Allen was hurt for majority of the season. He had a nagging hand injury. Mike Williams couldn't stay on the field.
Sean Slater was out for the year.
Yeah, Joey Bosa has fair share of injuries. So I think when Herbert has a complete cast, I think that team is really good, and I think that I have them going 11-6, making the playoffs. Third, I have the Raiders going 7-10. The Raiders, they got Jimmy G, who I think Jimmy G's an overrated quarterback, so we'll see how he does without Kyle Shanahan's system. But if Josh Jacobs plays, I still think you get close to the same production that he had last year. Not RB1, but I think him and McDaniel's scheme fit well together. And Devontae Adams, you can never count out. He's the best receiver in the NFL. At least top 5. He's just always really good, even with kind of crap quarterback. I still think he'll be fine. You got Max Crosby there, who's a home wrecker on the defensive edge. I think they still have a decent team. I mean, I don't think they're great, but 7-10's I think fine. And then last, I have the Broncos going 6-11. I think Sean Payton's going to help them a lot. But I think, like what you said, Weave, I think we're seeing Russell Wilson's decline. But I still think he's going to have a lot better season than he did last season because he was abysmal last year.
Yeah. My AFC West Chiefs at 13-4. My notepad is just Patrick. That's it. That's all you really need to say. Best head coach in the league, best player in the league, best tight end in NFL history. Won the Super Bowl with Kadarius Toney as their wide receiver 1. That's all you really need to know. I've got the Chargers at 11-6. I think this team is too talented to miss the playoffs, barring their entire team getting hurt again. If their entire team gets hurt again this year, I can actually see them missing the playoffs because the AFC is that good. But like you said, Rashawn Slater was out for the whole year. Their entire receiving core missed significant time. Joey Bosa has fair share of injuries. Derwin James can never stay on the field. And Justin Herbert also had broken ribs like the entire year last season. You remember he took that shot week 2 against Kansas City and he just couldn't move like he could his rookie year. I think that played a bit of a factor. But yeah, 11-6. I have them making the playoffs. Third place, I have Denver. I have them 8-9. I think that Sean Payton will improve that offense substantially, but I do also think that we're kind of seeing like the twilight of Russ. Russ is not going to get back to prime Seattle Russ. But that defense is good enough to win games they shouldn't because of their like safeties and corners. That defense is loaded.
Yeah.
That defense is really good. And then the mile high factor when teams come to play at Denver, it's a lot harder than it usually is. And then I have the Raiders at 3-14.
Wow.
I don't know if Josh Jacobs is going to play.
Yeah, that's a big if.
That's a massive if. And I don't think Jimmy G is a good quarterback. I don't think their head coach is good. They're all flash and no substance, which is kind of the epitome of Vegas.
That's so real. Like, actually.
I don't think they're a good team, and I feel really bad for Devontae Adams because he was first team All Pro with Derek Carr as his quarterback, and he got zero help.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just
how it is.
Head to head, I just don't trust the Raiders to beat most teams in the league. So 3-14 for them, for me.
Alrighty.
You got something crazy coming up here.
I got Chiefs going 13-4.
Okay.
Patrick Mahomes, we've stated
We don't need to talk
we don't
about
need
it.
to talk about it. Denver Broncos going 11-6.
Oh, gosh.
That's interesting.
That's interesting.
I honestly,
I'm not entirely surprised by
I'm
that.
not either.
and here's my logic.
I knew by the face you made at me that was what.
When you said what 5-12.
I think I'm a little too low on the Broncos.
I was gonna say when you said 5-12, my mouth dropped.
I think I'm a little too low on them too. But
This team's got a lot more on deck than
It's got a lot going for them.
I think they revamped their offensive line, bringing in guys like Ben Powers and everything like that. But I think with a competent head coach in Sean Payton, you can see Russ better than last year by a long shot. And you have Javonte coming back. You have P. Ryan to fill in until then. I think Javonte Williams, once he comes back, is going to be a freak. From there, that receiving core, yes, you talk about the injuries they've had here lately, but there's one that is substantial that I don't feel like we've talked about, and it's Marvin Mims. Marvin Mims Jr. is going to easily come in and take that spot, and I could see him having an unreal year because he serves that purpose like with in Seattle as like Doug Baldwin did. He's your deep threat right there. But you got Judy, you got Sutton. I love that. And like Nick was saying, that defense it's legit. Frank Clark's there.
I forgot they got Frank Clark.
You got Frank Clark. You got Randy Gregory, Zach Allen. What we talked about earlier, but that's not even the biggest piece. You got Patrick Surtain.
He's good.
Patrick Surtain, like
Arguably the best DB in the league.
exactly. I think this team has so much more potential than being a 5-win team this year. I honestly have them making them. I have them winning. I
don't think Russell Wilson's good anymore.
I have them making the playoffs this year.
There's always one team that comes out of
Broncos.
nowhere.
I just like the
from
Broncos
last
roster.
season to this season.
And I just think with a legitimate culture built, because let's be real with ourselves, last year's culture was a complete waste. It was a mess.
Yeah, it was terrible.
So I think with an actual culture that this team is going to be able to show their true identity of a lockdown defense with an offense that is capable of moving the ball and competing with teams in the AFC West and in the AFC. Chargers, I have 10-7 and missing the playoffs. I think that this offense is loaded still, but I just think it came down to one game, and it's just I have nothing against the Chargers. It's just how I thought it would play out.
Week 1, they play the Dolphins.
Yes,
in
and
LA. That could actually decide like one of the wild cards.
Yeah,
it easily could. And it's something as simple as that. I like the Chargers team. I do. Like I said, me and Nick both think that they definitely have a Super Bowl talent.
They just can't stay on the field.
Yes. If that team stays healthy all year, I could see them being a Super Bowl team. I just see it.
For sure.
And then I'm on the same page here as Nick. I have the Raiders going 4-13. It would not surprise me if Josh McDaniels is gone by the end of the year.
No, he could be fired after 4 weeks.
Yes.
He's not a good head coach.
I'm not kidding.
Terrible.
I'm not kidding. I think
he was the only head coach to lose to Jets Saturday.
Yeah.
that's so true though.
I don't see him doing. Especially with all this going on with Josh Jacobs, like that's a huge problem.
You guys think Josh Jacobs is actually going to play?
No, I don't.
I think he'll play.
I think he'll play.
I think he'll play, but I could see him not playing though too.
after the year he just had, they don't want to pay him. Like, what are we doing? He's like what, 26? Yeah.
But I mean,
Led the league in yards and touchdowns last year. He was their entire offense.
Yeah.
I'm giving them some credit because like they got so many pieces I do like. Max Crosby, Chandler Jones, even though he's getting older. They drafted Tyree Wilson. I love Tyree Wilson. You got Trayvon Moehrig, but and obviously Devontae Adams. I just don't think there's much there. Oh, and
All flash, no substance. They don't
Yes.
perform well
It's
as a
Vegas.
cohesive unit. Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, I have Broncos and Chiefs making it to the playoffs out of this list.
Nice.
So you have the Chargers, you have the Ravens, and we have the Dolphins as the team that's really
odd
good,
man out.
but the
The
odd
odd
man
man
out.
No, I have Chargers and Dolphins missing.
Oh yeah, because you have the Broncos. Okay, you have Chargers and
Oh,
Dolphins.
yeah.
I only have
Because the Broncos,
I have
none
both
of us
of
have the
them.
Broncos.
Yeah, I have both of them missing by a game.